What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Right now, we're going to be looking at these on the 4-hour time frame. They're going to be the market leaders and the drivers, so that's what we want to look at now. And right now, Bitcoin's coming in at about 42,765. We're down about 1.5%. And what I want to continue to do, if you've been around watching our previous videos, we've been really looking at the 4-hour time frame to get some detail for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And what we've been paying attention to is this 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame. You can see typically when we start our uptrends, we trade above it the entire time. So you can see when we broke above it here, it was roughly at about $33,700. By the time we broke it, we were up to around 46,878, and that would have been your time to get out of the trade. So if you're just going on when we cross above, when we cross below, you can see the entire meat of this move that you would take out. And then when you're trading below it, you have to wait or be patient. You know, if you're not shorting the market, you have to be patient until you get back up above it again with above average volume. And you can see here we went from $46,000 all the way up to when we broke it here at about $61,000. So what I'm trying to do is take the meat out of the move here. Jesse Livermore talks about this. You'll lose the most money at the top eighth and the bottom eighth of moves. I'm trying to get the move in between here. So when we're looking at Bitcoin, for us to be able to consider some longs here comfortably, what we want to wait for is for us to get a nice back test or a higher low up above this 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame. And that's going to be us getting back to around 48,219. When I'm talking about this, guys, I'm talking about longer swing trading positions here. Okay, if you're dollar cost averaging or accumulating or anything like that, just keep doing what you're doing. That's a different thing. But when we're looking at swing trading here, these are the things that you want to look out for. Okay, so with Bitcoin now, what you can see is we've actually broken down through this range. So our range was from 52,160 down to around 45,458. We had a break to the downside. It's come on heavy volume now. And what we're doing is testing this wick low. And this is something I've seen, we talked about on the last videos, guys, happens a lot, is why I mention it. We'll go down and we'll wick down real fast, and then we'll spend all this time going sideways, then we'll eventually sweep the lows again, and then we'll get moving. It's not a guarantee, but that's something that I always look for, because a lot of times we'll revisit those areas, and it's just so tough to sit through many times, because you'll have this big drop and then you'll spend a month or more sideways and down, then you touch it, everybody gives up, and then we get going again. Is typically how it works. But I'm definitely watching this area here for Bitcoin, because this is going to be a big one. If we do drop down through this area, we're going to look at $40,700 is going to be the spot. Right now on the 4-hour time frame, we're looking at 28 on our relative strength. So we have gotten pretty low there. We have, let's see here, guys, on our major dump, there we got down to about 17. So just realize it is possible. We can always just move up a little bit here and then get another leg down to this area and find our bottom. That's always a possibility. So if you are scaling into positions like this because of the low RSI, or low RSI on the hourly, just always remember that it can drop a little bit lower, and you just want, say you're starting out, just want to slowly average your way in as it's falling down, find a nice average, and then try to ride it back to the upside if that's the way you're playing it. If we take a look at Bitcoin on the 1-hour time frame, just to see where our relative strength got to, I like to play, personally, me, guys, it's taken a lot of years of experience here, but I like to play oversold bounces on the 5-minute and the 1-hour time frame. I've done pretty well doing that. So right now we ended up getting down to roughly about 22 on the relative strength on the 1-hour time frame there. In Ethereum, it was even getting drilled harder. I think it was down to around 17 at one point, 14, right in that range. So pretty interesting stuff here, guys. But you can see on the 1-hour time frame, we are still trading below this 200 moving average right now. So just be careful. Our VWAP on the 1-hour time frame is up to 1.15. Relative strength is going to be at 34 right now. We were getting our green dot down in this area, but just be careful, because we still could pop down to a little bit lower areas now. But overall, we've had a pretty big sell-off here. You can even see on the 1-day time frame, we are now trading below this 200 moving average as well. So we have to see if this is going to be a true flush down, or if this is going to be a false break, and then we rip up through. And that's always a possibility, but we need to hold this 40,700 is what I'd like to see. And on the 1-day time frame there, we're sitting at 31 on the relative strength. So really low here, guys. The previous low when we had our flush back in May there, we ended up getting to about 22. So pretty crazy stuff here, but just realize we need to hold this area here. That's going to be important for us. And that's going to be Bitcoin, guys. And also, if you don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It really helps the channel out. Always appreciate it. Just want to give you straightforward analysis the best that I can without any type of hype. So let's take a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum right now, if we step back, we are testing this 200-day moving average right now. So we're going to have to see if we hold our daily candle close up above that. The only previous time here that we've been below was back in May, same deal. Went below it for a little bit, and then we had a nice bullish engulfing candle, and we went on a nice rip there. And typically, guys, what I'm measuring here, so this, I always like to look at the days and see how long these corrections or trends can last. So if we take a look at Ethereum here, this was about 70 days. Okay, so 70 days in this correction before we got moving. And then to the upside here, we ended up going for about 47 days. So anywhere between about 40 to 70 days is typically how long these intermediate term trends last. When you're paying attention to this type of stuff, you see we bottomed out here, got that W, then we ripped to the upside about 40 days here, about 50 days, somewhere right in that range. And now we're already at, if we measure this here, we're sitting at about 58 days. So I'm anticipating in the next 2 weeks or so, we are going to get some type of reversal. You know, it could only be something like this here. Say we go down a little bit farther, we continue to drop, we get something like this, we pop up, then we have one nice move up, everybody gets hyped up, right? Back to around 4,200 or so, and then we could have another leg to the downside. That's the bearish case. The bullish case that we would have out of here, and this is definitely a possibility for Ethereum. So we find our bottom here, we go up, we bounce off that trend line, come back down, higher low, we rip right up through, right there, and then that's what we would be looking at, testing all-time highs. Right now, the relative strength on the 1 day for Ethereum is going to be at 32. If we take a look at the 4 hour, 4 hours is going to be sitting at about 27. You can see we've had big bullish divergence right back in this area. Got nice and low here, same deal, bullish divergence. And then if we take a look at the 1 hour time frame. So if we take a look at the one, get this off for us, guys. Okay, so for the 1 hour time frame, trading below our 200-day moving average, that's going to be up around $3,700 there. Our low was 33.01. So now what we're trying to do is form these higher lows. We pushed up, higher low, higher high. We're trying to get a higher low and then a higher high up to challenge 3,500 and then be up to around that 3,574 is going to be the area. VWAP's at 5.99 right now. We did have some bullish divergence taking place as the price was falling. Got one of those climax candles here. We just have to see if we can reverse this out of here is going to be the most important thing. But really watch these levels, guys, in terms of like that 3,300 is going to be crucial for us up to around that $3,500. But for Ethereum, you know, when you're looking at this type of stuff here, guys, there's also massive opportunities. Ethereum could go lower, but when you're looking at ETH going from 4,900 all the way down to 3,300, you know, at some point the bears are going to run out of steam. And even if it's just a three wave, you know, a one up, then a correction, and then another wave, and then we start rolling over, there's still going to be some type of reaction that comes from all this where the bulls step back in and we try to push up to higher levels. So that's kind of what I'm anticipating here, looking at potentially scaling in for Ethereum right now just lightly at these levels. If we drop a little more, scaling in a little bit more as it drops, but we've been at some pretty extreme levels here, and Ethereum's one that I see promise in as well going into this year if we can reverse this. So just things I'm looking at, guys. God bless each and every one of you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Take care, my friends.